Good evening, everyone, and we are finally back with the a set of information related to Java with the source content platform. And today we'll be discussing about buffers in Java. So what exactly buffers are and what is the importance of buffer in Java? We'll be seeing that in a closure manner. So let's begin that. So the first thing is the introduction to buffer. So a buffer is a block of memory used to temporarily share a data while it is being transferred from one place to another. And the purpose for using the buffer in Java is that it is used to optimize the reading and writing operations, especially reducing the number of input-output operations by holding data temporarily at a position. So obviously, buffer is one of the important key concept which is being used by Java in Java for by programmers who are currently using this particular technology of buffer. So a buffer is basically like a type of a memory storage location that is storing a sort of data temporarily for a certain amount of time. And exactly what the thing this buffer does is that data, but it actually stores the data that is to be transferred from one block to another. And this is exactly how a buffer looks like and works in Java. When we were talking about the purpose of buffer, the purpose of the buffer was very clear that it was used for reading and writing operation, reducing the number of input-output operation by holding the data in a temporary storage locations. So now we'll be moving forward with that is related to the need of the buffer in Java. So what is exactly the need of the buffer in Java? We'll be seeing that. So the first thing is that buffer are quite important in Java related to the input-output efficiency. That is, since we discussed it in the first slide, that buffers act as a temporary storage location for storing and the information that is used to be transferred from one sort of file system to the another. So similarly, the efficiency by the help of buffer is quite improved in terms of using a buffer in Java as compared to other technologies. The second one is data handling. That is, it smooths the difference between the high speed CPUs and slow input output devices. And the third one is the concurrency management. That is, it is a useful in scenarios where multiple thread shares input output. So what exactly multiple thread is that? It is a concept that is being related to multi-threading. So we'll be discussing that multi-threading topic also in our next presentation that is in the next week. So we'll be seeing that thing in detail over there. So these are the basic three important needs of using buffer in Java. Now, what exactly Java NIO package is? So, Java NIO package stands for Java New Input Output Package. So, it was introduced in Java 1.4 for non-blocking input output. So, the key feature of this Java NIO package is that it contains key features like buffer, channels, and selectors. And among these, the most useful feature which was being provided in this thing was related to the buffer system. The benefits of Java NIO package was that for non-blocking input-output, scalability and flexibility was quite improved. And because the reason you for this Java NIO package introduction was that this particular feature was quite useful for the developers who were using Java for development purpose. That was why this particular package was introduced. Since Java consists of a variety of packages that we have seen also, and if you'll use Java for the development purpose, you'll surely encounter with this Java NIO package. Now, what exactly a buffer class hierarchy looks like, we'll be discussing that. So this is exactly how the buffer class hierarchy looks like. That is there is an abstract class that is a Java NIO.buffer. So this is the first abstract class buffer that we'll be using. The subclasses that are most probably the buffer class hierarchy that comes under the buffer class hierarchy. The first one is the byte buffer. The second one is the char buffer. The third one is the short buffer. Fourth is the integer buffer, long buffer, float, and double buffer. So basically, byte, char, short, int, long, float, and double. These are the types of the data types that are also used in programming languages. And similarly, buffer also consists of these type of classes. That means that any sort of information that a programming language can hold can be stored in the buffer system, which was quite useful. And it is quite useful for us even today, because this particular buffer system can hold any sort of data, thus making it quite easier for a programmer to use buffer for the file transferring or data transferring system. Now, what are the buffer characteristics? Now, the first one is the capacity. That is the maximum number of elements that a buffer can hold, is basically related to the capacity. And talking about the buffer capacity related to buffer is quite efficient, and it is quite large. So there is no such issue that a programmer will encounter related to the capacity sort of issues. The third one is the limit. The number of elements are ready to be read or written. So actually, in a buffer, the number of elements that we need to transfer, if a programmers want to change some sort of information that is being uh, to be transferred from one device to the another, and if a person or a programmer wants to change this sort of information which is used over there, then he can easily do the same by the help of limit function, as we can read and both write over there. The third one is the project position. That is the index of the next element to be read or write. That is, by the help of the buffer system, we can even come to know about the index of the next element, where the programmer might try to update or change the information which the programmer might be thinking of. And the fourth one is the mark. That is the optional position that is to be remembered by the program. Now we'll be talking about the basic operations that we can perform using the buffer. The first one is the put method. By the help of a put method, we can write some sort of data in the buffer that is need to be transferred. Get method, again, the get method is actually used to read the data from the buffer that is being transferred. Flip method, which is one of the most important method, that is, it is used for switching from writing mode to reading mode, or from reading mode to writing mode. So flip is one of the key important method that a person or a programmer must know while using this particular system. The fourth one is the rewind, that is reread the data in the buffer. That is if a programmer wants to reread the data that the programmer is trying to transfer from one file system to another, then he can surely do the same by the help of rewind method. The fifth one is the clear one. That is, if a person wants to clear the buffer, the data that is given in the that is to be transferred and that is stored in the buffer, he can does the same by using a clear method. By using a clear method, the entire data that is to be transferred will be removed. Now, working with buffers. So obviously, since this particular topic related to buffer is very effective and is very useful for programmers, so every programmer try to use the buffer system in his slash her programming concept. And we can use the following by these some sort of methods that are given over here. Although there are various methods that a programmer will encounter while working with this, but here are the few things that I have listed. The first one is writing data to a buffer. Obviously, in the last slide, we studied about the important methods that we will be encountering with the buffer system, and here we are seeing that those some sort of example, that is buffer dot put value. So if a programmer wants to put some sort of data in the buffer, then he can easily does the same by calling a buffer, and then within the put method, where the value which is to be placed can be placed, and the value by the help of put method can be stored in the buffer system. Now flipping the buffer for reading, that is, if a programmer wants to flip the the writing purpose to a reading purpose, then he can use buffer.flip. Then he can easily switch from the writing mode to a reading mode on at that particular point of time. Similarly, reading from the buffer, as we have seen in the last slide, the get function was used to read the content that was stored in the buffer. So similarly, we can see that using get function, we can also read the data from the buffer system. Now, what exactly the types of buffers in Java? So as we have seen in the buffer hierarchy system, then we have encountered that byte buffers, char buffers, short buffers, integer, long, float, and double buffers were there. So we'll be seeing the types of buffers and the type of values the data these type of buffers can hold. Starting with the byte buffer, as the name suggests, byte buffers can store the data in the form of bytes, and that is used in the binary data system. And that is if some sort of data is to be shared that is in the form of binary system that can be stored in the byte buffer. Char buffer is used to store the character data system. Short buffer is used to store the short integers. Integer buffer stores in long integers, stores long integers. Float buffer stores floating point numbers, whereas double buffer stores the double precision numbers. Obviously, both float and double buffers are also very common to use nowadays, because obviously now the data which is to be transferred from one sort of device would not require the data types or related to buffers in the sort of byte, char, short, integer. Most probably that buffer types that will be and that a programmer can encounter while working, that are some sort of float or double buffers. So these two are one of the most important types in the buffer. Now we'll be moving on with the byte buffer, and we'll be having a closer look in that. So the first one is that the use case. So handling byte stream in network or file operation, that this is related to the byte buffer system. And we can see that the method that allocates integer capacity. So exactly the first one is that we'll be allocating a space where the particular buffer system content or the data that is to be transferred will be stored. Therefore, the second one will be the put byte B. Now, the data which is to be placed in that allocated space which we have created, we can easily put that using the put method. Now, if a person wants to read or wants to see the data that is given or stored in in the allocation where we have to put the data, then he can easily get and see that through by the get method. And wrap byte array, that is used to wrap an array in a bomb of buffer. Now, exactly what wrap byte array belongs to. Now, if there is an array, that there's a byte array which where the content in an array is in the form of byte characters. Now, if a person wants to wrap up that entire data into a single unit and wants to place it in the buffer system, then he can use a wrap method over there, where the wrap method will wrap up the entire content of the array system, and it will automatically place into the allocated space. Now we'll be moving on to the buffer mode, that is read and write. So the buffer mode is prepared for writing using the put method. So sorry, the buffer mode related to read versus write. So in a write mode, the buffer is prepared for writing. That is, we write in a buffer system using put method. In a read mode, we use after flip. The buffer is prepared to reading using the get method. Now, the most important thing is that the flip method is very useful when we want to switch between writing mode to reading mode. It is similar to the way like we might have studied file managing system in a college during the third year as well. And there we can see that if we want to um, switch the mode between reading and writing, we can also perform the same sort of switching purpose using the help of flip method, as we are seeing that if a file is open in the form of write mode, and automatically using the help of flip mode, it is getting open into the read mode. So this flip method is very important. Switching modes will be using flip and rewind to manage the transition that I have told you, and we have discussed about that too. Now, what are direct and non-direct buffers? Now, what are direct buffers? So the memory allocated outside the Java virtual machine heap is related with the direct buffer, and it is more efficient for large data and input output operations, whereas non-direct buffers use memory allocation within the Java virtual machine heap, that is a JVM heap. Now, what are the pros and cons? That is the advantages and disadvantages related to that and non-direct buffers. So the direct buffers are quite faster, but memory management in direct buffers is quite insufficient, or you can say that it is quite difficult. And in case of non-direct buffers, the management is quite easier, but it is quite slow. That is the reason why nowadays mostly non-direct buffers are being used. Because the reason again is that these are easier, but memory management speed is quite slowly. But if we are storing a large amount of data, then this particular non-direct buffers are very useful over there. Now, what are buffer overflow and underflow and allocations? So, a buffer overflow occurs when writing more data than the buffer capacity. Now, exactly we have seen in stack and queue while studying in the data structure that we have encountered two things, that is overflow and underflow. And we have seen that when the stack and the queue used to be completely filled, and if we are trying to insert or push our data into the stack or a queue, there was a message that was being displayed that was stack or queue overflow. Similarly, the same concept is used in buffer system as well, that is related to the overflow system. Now, in the underflow, is again the same concept that comes from the stack and queue. That if the and nothing is contained in the buffer, and if we are trying to remove some sort of data from the buffer, then the message that will occur, or we are not trying to remove, we are actually trying to read the data from the buffer, then it will automatically show us the message that is related to the underflow. Now, exactly, allocation means allocating a non-direct buffer. So, as in the previous slide, I talked about that more nowadays we are using non-direct buffers a lot. Similarly, we can see that in the allocation purpose, allocation of the memory to a buffer system is done by the help of non-direct buffer system, so which is quite important. And similarly, in the example, we can see that we have created a byte buffer and allocated that a space of 10. And by the allocate direct, we are allocating a direct buffer. And the example is that byte buffer dot allocate direct 10. That is in a direct buffer we are automatically directly storing the sort not only allocating a space of 10 but also storing the data in that location at that point of time. That is the basic difference between direct and indirect buffer. Now, what are the common uses or cases of buffer? The first one is the input output. That is the buffer speed up reading or writing operation in a file system. The second one is the network programming. That is buffer holds data being sent or received over the network system. And the third one is the multi-threaded system. That is the buffer serve as a shared data structure between the threads. So more in detail related to the multi-thread system we'll be seeing next week. As I mentioned that we'll be studying related to the threading in Java. As we are moving more closer towards the Spring Boot and the Spring frameworks, where we'll be studying about various sort of key features that were introduced in Java. And after that, we'll be working on some projects as well. So just join us in every Saturday so that you can do the needful things for yourself. Now, related to the conclusion part that will be coming related to the buffer is that buffer can play a crucial role in Java new input-output package, offering efficient non-blocking input-output operation that is related to the summary. And the key takeaway that a person or a programmer will be getting from the buffer is that by understanding the buffer modes, type and best practices to optimize input output heavy application. So if a programmer is trying to create an application which is requiring a very large amount of memory to be transferred from one system to the another, then obviously buffer system is very efficient and useful over there. So well, that was all from my side. If you have any question, then you can ask from me.
Okay. So Suyash, uh,
Yeah.
can you brief where the buffer is stored in a like hardware or in a memory?
So basically, what Rudransh buffer is like. The buffer is like a temporary storage location. So similarly, you can see that whenever we are trying to install a file in a system, so it is temporarily it temporarily creates some location in a computer system only. So that particular memory space can be automatically removed by a programmer according to his or her need. Similarly, a buffer, when a programmer is creating a buffer, so he or she is trying to allocate a memory a space to that particular buffer system within the system within which the programmer is typing the code. So the memory allocation technique related to the buffer will be done in the same system which the programmer will be using.
I think main memory, in the main memory it resides.
Yeah, yeah, you are correct. Yes.
Okay, so cache and buffer are same things or different?
No, obviously not. Buffer is actually a temporary storage location. But in terms of cache, the thing is that in cache, some sort of data cannot be removed. But in buffer, the data, if a programmer wants to remove or update the sort of data, then he can easily do that thing. But in cache, there are certain sort of limits that a programmer will be encountering in order. If you might have seen that. If a company wants to block certain sort of data related to, so that that particular data can't be breached by an individual, so this impose some sort of limitations in within their memory system, that is in the cache system, so that particular data is not only invisible to the user that is using that, but also locked up. But in the case of buffer, there is no such thing that is being provided. So it is quite different from cache and buffer. Both are quite different.
So both are like a virtual memory.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
And I have one question also. So, like if I open a browser and I open a site, okay. So that
Yeah.
what and again when I encountered next time and open the site, say the same site, then it takes
Hmm.
less minutes because it stores on our memory. So what is that
Yeah.
memory? We can call a cache or a buffer.
No, it is a buffer.
Okay, so that is buffer. So what is cache?
Yes.
If in short you explain with the example.
So see, the difference between cache and a buffer is that suppose you are trying to install a video game on your phone.
Yes.
So the content for which the content which the video game will be having, that will be stored in the cache system. Okay. Whereas in a buffer, now if we all know that we will sign in before a game is started. Before a game starts, we need to sign in that particular game. So
Yes.
the information related to the login, like our email accounts, our password. So there is a feature nowadays that we can see that we can save the our email and password automatically in a Google in the Google system.
Yes.
But and we can automatically use that thing to for the sign in purpose. You might have used Google Play for signing in
Yes.
various
Yes.
games, might
Yes.
be.
Yes.
Yeah. So what exactly Google Play does is that it creates a temporary buffer system for you. That is, it keeps that personal information related to the your email IDs, and it stores that information in that particular system. Now, what cache does is that the content of the game which you are downloading. Suppose you are trying to download a game like COC. So
Yes.
it contains some sort of data like it has animated characters within itself, and moreover it has animations as well. So the content related to the game, how exactly each character in that COC, that is the Clash of Clans, how exactly each and every character will be moving, that sort of data is stored in the cache. And the sign in data, that is email and your password, that will be stored in the Google Play system, that is a temporary buffer system. So I think now you might have
Yes.
cleared this doubt.
Yes. 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 Thanks for clearing this out.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Okay. So, Pranjal, are you ready to take session?
Yeah, I
Okay.
am
Share start.
Rudransh.
Yes.
Hello.
यस यस।
भाई आज का सेशन थोड़ा सा छोटा रहेगा क्योंकि आज ये सोच रहे जो फॉर्म वाला कंप्लीट करा के।
यस
या
यस।
माय स्क्रीन इज विजिबल एंड आई एम ऑडिबल।
यस यस।
Yeah. So, good evening, guys. Welcome back. My name is Pranjal, and we are here to complete the HTML and CSS series. So, till the last session, we have achieved this sort of thing, like the nav bar, the search options, the contact button, and name, and the basic form and the footer. In the today session, we will be completing this form and making it good looking with the help of different stylings. So, let us start. So at the beginning, we can see that the width of this particular form is very large. So what we have to do, we have to decrease a particular width and we have to make it something shrinkable kind of thing. So we will be doing it. So in the form
Yes.
container, currently its width is 80%. You all can see. Now I am going to make it 60%. So let's see what is happening. It is a little bit left-sided. So we will be doing some adding more margin to it. Now it is looking good. And after that, we can see the color of this heading, the basic form is not very impressive. So we will be changing this as well. We will be using black color in it. And after that, in the nav bar, we can see the home, about, and cart option that we are seeing. It is very thin in the case of weight. So we will be adding some weight to it. So what are they? They are the simply like the list item. So in the list item, we will be using the font weight. The font weight is bold, so they are bolded now. And after that, we will be changing the color of this nav bar also. So for changing the color of this nav bar, we will be using here. What if I am going to make the something blackish kind of thing? So I will be using a black color, and from that I am going to change some sort of thing. So it is all gone black. So we will be changing the color here as well for make the particular thing visible. Yeah, because of this. And now it is quite looking good. And after that, this particular thing is also not looking very good. So we will also going to change the color of this particular contact button and making it a little bit light theme. And whenever we are going to hover it, it is going a very dark. So we will be going to make is opposite kind of thing. The opposite kind of thing means the background of this particular button will be white, and the color of this particular button will be what color that we are using it in this way. So we will be just pasting this. So you all can see it is just like this. And we are using the transformation. So we will not be using it here. And for making it something transitionable, as we are doing like this, you all can see. So we will be using something known as transitions. Transition, and we are no not transition, this is transform. And we will be using the scale are the things, it's the numerical values by which the particular button will be increasing or decreasing or changing its particular width and height kind of thing. So we will be using 1.5. Let's see what is happening. In the 1.5, it is going to be a very large. So we will be using the 1.1. So let's see what happened in the 1.1. Yes, it is growing, and it is growing very fast. So for making it little bit slower and and making it something rhythmic kind of thing. So we will be using ease in, and the time duration will be zero point 0.5 seconds. So let's see what is happening. So you all can see within the zero point 0.5 second, means the half second, it is growing. So let's see what happens if I write here 2 seconds. So when I am writing here 2 seconds, so you all can see that it is growing very slowly. You all can see it here. So for that, we will be using here zero point 0.8. Let's see what happens when we are writing the points here. It is looking good or not? Yeah, it is quite good. Let's go with the zero point 0.7 seconds. For the zero point 0.7 second, it is looking good. So what if I want to get something border kind of thing across it? So I will be using the border. The border The border will be about 1 px, the solid border, and of what color? The bluish color that I am using it here. So I am going to paste it as it is. So let's see, it is good, but the border width is very thin. So I am using the border width of 2. So you all can see the border width of 2 it applied here. Yeah, like this. So after that, when we are seeing it here, it is not looking a very impressive because here we are using the scale kind of effect, and here we are using just the changing the background kind of effect. So here I am also going to make this as the scaling kind of effect. So for making is the scaling kind of effect, let's move in up. Yeah, we got it here. And what if I want to change it? What are they? Let's try to see here. The things that is home, about, and cart are just like the list, and within the list we are using the anchor tag. So I have to target a particular anchor tag within that. After list, I have to use anchor, and after anchor, we will be using transform, and with the transform, we will be using the scale, and the scale will be zero point 0.8. Let's see what happens. It is not changing. Let's see why this particular thing is not changing again. Hmm, What happened here? It is working, but the transform thing that we are using it not working. So let's okay. This is because it is not working because we are using the font size. Maybe let's try. Let's see, 14 pixels. No, so let's not touching it because it is not working. So after that, we will be just trying to add some decorations if we want to add it, just like such decoration kind of thing. We can use the solid underline wave. Let's use the this kind of thing. So whenever you are going to click it here or hover it here, it will be showing the hand kind of thing. Why we are getting the hand kind of thing? Because we are using here the cursor pointer. And whenever we are hovering it here, it will be showing the underline kind of thing. So if we are using the darkish kind of thing, so we have to use a particular background as something light in color. So we will be adding it here. So for that, we will be targeting our body. In the body, we will be using the background color of particular thing. Let's use it like this. It is good. And this particular footer is not looking good because it should be like something lower in the direction where it is now. So we will be using something like this. Let's see, 50, 100. Yeah, it is looking good. And for this, uh, we will be changing its color, the background color of this particular form. For changing the background color of this particular form, we will be targeting the form tag. Where is the form tag? This is the form container that we are going to target. Let's try to give some shadow kind of thing, box shadow. So what are the attributes that the box shadow takes that we have seen in the contact button that we are seeing it here? The its take the 0 pixels from top, from right, from bottom, and what color that we wanted? This color. Sorry. So we will be adding it here in the form container as it is. So you all guys can see this is getting something the this the shadow kind of thing. What if I changes this? I am using 16 pixels, so it will be more dark. This is looking quite nice. Let's test one thing. Let's try to add a transition here. Transition is let's say is 2 seconds. Let's see what will happen. No, it is not working. So we will be not touching this kind of thing.
What
And
this
after that,
transition do is
the transition ease in out are kind of the rhythmic way. The rhythmic way means the ease means the simply that means you are getting the point 0.5, so it will be starting slowly to that point 0.5. The ease in goes the very fast in beginning and it will decrease when slowly and slowly. These are the it will be taking the many kind of rhythmic way. So let's see it here. Ease in transitions. So in the CSS transitions, you can see it here. The it will be giving the I'm not getting the chart. Yeah, like this. You can see it here.
yeah,
The
okay.
linear, it will be going the linear ease. This will be getting something sigmoidal kind of thing, the S shape, the ease in the bottom, the log graph that we are going to make, the parabolic graph, and the ease in out, the same thing that we are getting here in the S kind of thing. So it is clear?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So the branch, if you have any suggestions to improvise this form in kind of styling, so please tell me.
Hmm. Can we add like emojis of like basic forms in after basic form? Text.
Emojis you want to add?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. We can try. Let's try. In the basic form, this is here. So for getting the emoji kind of thing, we will be using the window and the colon thing. So for getting this, we will be using it. And after the basic form, you want to add it here again, the window and the colon kind of thing, and you can get it here.
Okay.
Yeah, one more thing that we have to make this submit button more attractive. So for making this submit button more attractive, we will be adding styles here also. I am using the box shadow. In the box shadow, the 0 to pixels, 14 pixels, and what color I want. I want this color like this. For making it more bigger, we can add the padding of 5, 6, and after giving the padding, we will be using the font weight bolder, not bolder, bold. Yeah, and same in the contact button also.
Pranjal, can you add a background image on this basic form, like not in a basic form, where this yellow, sorry, pink thing here.
Yeah, you want to add the background image in the body.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we can add, and we will try also. So for this, let's get some good background image.
Of forms search can.
Yeah, let's try to give this image. Yeah, we will be using this here. I am just copying this image and pasting this image here, and let's give it the body background image URL image.png.
Add in the
And
background form also, then it will make more
yeah,
interesting.
so what if I want to add some hover kind of thing here? So for this, we will be using the backdrop filter here. The backdrop filter will be giving the blurrish kind of thing over this form, so you can see your image over this form, the translucent kind of thing.
Okay.
So let's try to achieve this also. Yes, with what the background color, let's take white. You know, transparent, blur of 4 pixels, not working. Not working. 10 pixels, it is not working. Let's see why it is not working. So we will be just seeing the syntax for the backdrop filter. Mm, yeah, WebKit filter and this. So we will be simply copying this kind of thing and pasting it here. Let's see it will be working or not. Mm, it's- Yeah, you can see it here. It is something blurrish kind of thing you can see. Rudransh, can you see?
Yes, Pranjal. Pranjal, can you change the like color of
Yeah,
basic
yeah,
form?
yeah, yeah. I am going to change it. I am going to change it, and I am also going to change the box shadow of this particular image
Yes.
also. So we will be making this form very attractive by using this. So it is dark blue. We will be using light blue here, and removing this box shadow. So yeah, it is good. Form H2, we will be using color of white. Yes, it is looking good.
Yes.
And what if I want to change the color of this particular input form? So we will be going towards the particular inputs as well. Let's try it here in the search bar. So I am going to add some background color as transparent. Yes, it is working. Very nice. So I have to change something here. The color column white. So whenever you are typing here, yes, it is white. So for this, we will be using border. I have used the outline none, so it is good. The border 2 pixels solid white. Yeah, this kind of thing. It is good, and form is also good,
Pranjal,
and it
change
is also yeah.
the like in the way you change the basic forms, same you can apply for name, email, password, and comments also. So
Yes,
that
I am going to change it. I am going to change it.
and
I was just testing this property at the search section, and after that I am going to apply this property here, and after that I will be changing this colors also. That the color you are seeing in the placeholder kind of thing.
yes.
So in the form, in the input areas, first of all, I will be using the color as white. So whenever you are going to type anything here, oh sorry, yeah, it is white. So I want this, the background color, transparent. So background color is
Very
transparent,
interesting.
border 2px, solid, whitish color, whitish or something glowy kind of thing. Oh, let's give me 1 minute. Color palette, I want 16 color code. This color I want. Input. Yeah. And for the labels also, we are going to change the color. Where are the labels we have defined here? The color column. What color we are using here? We are using the bluish color. Yes, sir. Yes. So let's see our form. This is looking quite good.
Yes. Pranjal, can any function do an animation type of thing in CSS?
In this form, basically, we do not need any animation kind of
Yes,
thing
yes,
here.
yes, yes. We know.
But the animation is slight different topic
Okay.
because in the animation we have the different kind of animations such as you have seen the scale animations. There is bounce animation where you see ball to be bouncing, and there is something target to source the animation in which one particular item will be going from one place to another. Let's try one thing, the marquee tag that we have that we use to make something moving. Marquee tag direction right. Right. So let's try to. I don't know whether this will be looking good or not. I'm just trying it. Yeah, this kind of thing.
Pranjal, can you add a GIF image like this is the static image in the background? Can you add a
Yeah,
GIF so that it can like a dynamic way?
yeah. Let's try. We can also use it. Yeah, images. Yeah, this kind of image you want.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
try. That's the video kind of thing. So we have to use a particular video tag for that.
Yes, if required, then use.
Yeah, we can see it. The graphics are not good.
Yes, yes. Like
Uh,
if you able to download, like you search a GitHub GIF, I think there is a big earth
but
image there.
let me try
Yes,
whether
yes.
it will work or not.
Okay,
And if it work after that, we will be trying to get that.
okay, okay.
Yeah, back. And for that, we have to background image URL, and for URL, we will be using back.mp4. No, it is not working. Let's use background. No, background
Attachment.
attached. Let's try. I haven't used this.
Okay.
So let's ask to Google.
Yes, yes.
We can use, but mm, mm, we have to use a video tag kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's try. Video, video, creating body.
Anjan, this is a video, huh? If you download a GIF,
Yeah,
only, I think the GIF is not a video. That applies with the help of image tag. This is a video.
yeah, 1 minute.
Yes, you try.
Let me let me try. Yeah, I got this video, the GIF. I've gone for GIF.
Just download it as you install an image.
Yeah. Mm, Let me try it differently. Background GIF. Background source content HTML and lecture from background.gif. So let's try whether we can use it or not. Yeah, we can use.
Interesting. Delete the video.
Yeah, I'm going to delete it. So at the end, we get this kind of thing.
Yeah, good. If you if you use the 3D what we can say in a JavaScript, a 3D modeling is 3.js library. So
Yeah,
simple GIF we can apply. Not we can At that time we can't use 3.js. We just download a GIF, then apply it, then it will more effective. Just use try with I tell you about GitHub in like a GIF about Earth. Can you implement on this?
yeah, 1 minute. I am trying something.
Yes,
So
yes,
let me use it.
yes,
Background. What are the properties for not repeat? Repeat. Forgetting. There is someone. One. Let image. Background image. No, fix. Background size cover. Yeah, this was thing I want to show. Now it is good. Hello, Rudransh.
yes, yes, yes. More good. Yes.
One thing I'm going to change one more thing.
Yes.
In the nap section, we have used the background color. What if I just use the background color as transparent again? Kit property that we have used in the particular form for making it more blurrish kind of thing.
Yes, yes.
Blur 25 pixels, up to 15 pixels. Yes, this thing I want to show. And for the placeholder, the placeholder that we are using the nav input. Nav input placeholder, the color column white. Yes. And same thing I am going to use here in the footer section also. No, not this. Yeah, this. Yeah. So this is the thing that we are going to make.
Yes.
So Rudransh, please suggest me some more improvement or we
Yeah,
should
I
end it
tell you
here.
about the GitHub image. Can you apply the GIF?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I was doing something else.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
what you want. Yeah,
I want a background image. Like if you open a GitHub, then there is a big earth animation is there, like in the form of GIF. I know that the
okay.
image is in the form of GIF. I go on the browser section and get the image like with inspect option, you can get easily that image. So if you implement
Yeah.
that.
Which URL you are saying? The GitHub?
Yes, github.com.
Okay.
Side that.
Yes, in the grateful.com where you are saying the images.
Mm, GitHub, I think uh, the github.org if you try to run this.
Yeah,
I want to open a
the
site.
GitHub.
Yes.
No,
No, no, no, it is not.
that's private.
Yes. Let me check one thing. Actually, the meeting is
Yeah,
time is over, so you can join again. Then we will go with that and we implement that background image on this. Okay.
yeah, okay, okay, sure.
Pranjal, start your screen share so that we can see.
Hey, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Rudransh.
Yes, yes. Give me a second so that I can switch and then tell you about the URL.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, so you all can see it here because as we have started from what we are going to make the simple basic form, and at the end we are implementing the GIF images and other things also in this particular page. So let me add border here. water, protection, solid, weak, and of footer kind of thing. That should also trying to make this as marking. Yeah, yeah, Rudransh, you got that? Hello, Rudransh.
Yeah, Pranjal, I got that, but that image is not in the form of GIF. So I just tried about the GIF. Wait 1 minute or so that right.
Yeah,
Pranjal, I got that, but that is in
yeah,
the video. So just I start a screen share so that you can see. Okay,
yeah.
just
Before that, I want to say something that I have added one more element in this form. As you all can see in the basic Google form, you can see the file upload kind of thing where you are going to drop a particular file or you are going to shoot a particular image or file. So we can also make this with the help of HTML and CSS. And for that, we are just using the label for the document that I have used here. And after that, I will be only giving the input type. The input type of this particular thing is file. So you can use it also like here. So it will be taking the images from any things that you can show. Let's go with my image. So you have choose one thing that is pic.jpg. You all can see here. Yeah, Rudransh, what you are saying. So can I stop my share?
no. I think multiple users can. Yes, yes. I screen start the screen share. Then you again start. Okay. Video is visible, Pranjal. Am I audible, Pranjal?
Yeah, you are audible.
So that video I want in the background.
Okay.
The URL.
Yeah, before
Yes.
I am going to add this video, let me try one thing whether we can do this thing or not. If we are able to do this particular thing, so we will be using this URL
Okay. Just I
for
stop. I
the
start.
yeah, yeah,
URL.
sure.
I can forward to you in your WhatsApp so that you can
Yeah,
read.
you can forward. Yeah. So I just want to use this thing that whether we can use a video as the background of a particular page or not. So for that, let's see what it is showing. Branch, there is one problem in this that I am using the video as here, but I have to use this particular video within that background. Like this, I have used this kind of thing that the background and URL of GIF.
Yes, yes.
So if that's work, we will be able to use it. Otherwise, we can't.
Okay.
So it is not working.
Yes, yes. Wait a second. I also tried something. So just wait a second.
Yeah.
Pranjal, let me share on this chat so that you can understand. So you use this method, okay? And where you source SRC in the body section,
Okay.
and in the background, I will give another thing. So I think this.
Yeah, we can use video, and I am giving the background JPG, and for the select use the selector, the video, and for the video we will be using the position absolute Z index -1. Yeah, it will be working. W 100%, height 100%. And after that, we will be using the box fit, object fit. The object fit will be fitting your particular object as you want. I want a cover. Yeah, it is working. So, Dransh, we did that.
The video is not playing, I think.
Yeah, this is happening.
Wait, wait. You can start this video in the normal file. Let me check. Let me.
No, 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 no.
You manually try to do this, like you start a video.
But from where we, but from where I
Like
have to start that because
uh,
I do not have some
yes, yes.
play pause button.
In the file back.mp4.
Yeah,
Yes,
let's. No.
it's not happening. No. Wait. We can.
Yeah, not okay.
Let I try.
Yeah, 1 minute. There is something auto start tag that the auto start is kind of thing that we can use here. Autoplay. Autoplay is equal to true. Yes. 1 minute. Autoplay video in HTML.
I think Pranjal, you have to use it on your in the body section. There is a something.
Control autoplay.
Okay, so there is also like you try in this way. If this works, then we can't use. I think the video is not running.
Yeah, Rudransh, but there is one issue.
Not. Pranjal, try with this.
Hello,
Which
Rudransh.
yes, yes.
Yeah, there is one issue that we are getting this particular tags here.
Okay, so try to resolve it like whatever I sent, resent to you in a body tag, and then like in the CSS, you just make another like inside the body, you just put it this and just change the source of from your video and just what
Yeah, I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to do that.
yes.
What is source back.mp4? Yeah, it is working. That's working.
Yeah,
But the quality of this particular video is not good.
I think that is the point of yeah that video quality.
Which type of video that which of type of video we are selecting.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
basically we are to learn, so there is something new. We can use this particular thing by using this command. Autoplay means the video will be played automatically whenever you are loading your page. The muted, it will be muted. The loop means once the video is completed or going to end, it will be starting again from the start. And we are going to give the V class an ID that is your choice whether you want to give that particular thing or not. After that, we will be using we are this is something the text kind of thing and the video tag is closed. That's it.
Pranjal, can you change the event like whatever I URL is forward to you? Just you change the video which I want to
Yeah,
send.
just a minute. Just a minute. Mm, mm. Yeah, I am back. Yes. Yeah.
That is
Yes.
interesting.
Yes. That's really interesting.
Yes. Pranjal, can you make more modification? Like you small the box of like whatever the form is, you can try to small it just a
Yeah,
little.
I'm just trying one thing. I'm just trying one thing. Whether it's work or not, I don't know. No, that doesn't work. For this, we have to decrease the height. And for the learning purpose, I have added one thing here, just like the file. So we are going to delete this. And whenever you are deleting this, you are getting this particular form or the video in the one page. Yeah, you can check. Rudransh. Yes, Rudransh. Do you want to give me some more suggestions for doing that?
Can
One more thing that I am going to change is, yeah, that is this. The video is working, but the transparency of this form I want to change little bit.
yes, yes.
Yes, now it is good.
Can Pranjal, can you set like this is not like transparent is not just it like there is a box for transparent and the box is removed and there is only specific terms. Box is removed, that is shadow. There transparent is applied. Just we want a single, yes, that is most interesting.
This
I
thing you want.
yes, yes, yes.
This
Yeah,
thing you want.
yes, yes, yes. An amazing side we made.
Yeah, we can say that.
Yeah. So thanks, Ranjal, for
So
the
thanks to you, Raj, for giving me such a good suggestions for putting the GIF at the background, and then we are going to add some URLs to the videos. And from the basic thing, let's see what are the things that we are going to, that we was going to make, and what are the things that we had made.
yes.
Let's see. That's oh sorry, I have opened the
Yes, yes.
wrong file. Project HTML. I think yeah, this is the thing that we were going to make. And what is the thing that we had made? We were going to make this, and we had made this. Again, again, see, we were going to make this thing,
Yes.
and we had made this thing.
Yeah, it doesn't like a modular, what we can say, modular site. Yeah.
Yeah, you can say. Yeah, so here we can see very perfectly what are the things that we have done.
Yes. Pranjal, you can share this zip file to me also, eh?
Yeah, sure, sure, sure.
In my WhatsApp, I
One
share this zip file, all
1 minute, just
content
1 minute.
inside that. That is
Rudraj, 1 minute, let me connect my charger to, let me connect my laptop to charging.
yes, yes. Firstly,
That's right. So,
yes, yes.
and I don't want that it got switch off in between the session.
No, no, no. That's strong thing.
1 minute.
Yes, yes, we are waiting.
Yeah, that's charging.
Okay.
And yeah, this was the thing that we were going to make, and this is the thing that we had made.
Pranjal,
One
after
minute.
5,
Yeah,
6 months, uh,
yes.
just stop the recording. So okay, so we are on the second part of our session, and we are just starting the Kubernetes second. So just wait for a while. Just I start my screen share. After that, you will see. Okay, so here. Okay, so just I start the screen share. So this time we are just about to start a Kubernetes second. In the Kubernetes first, I give the introduction about the Kubernetes, how the things are working in Kubernetes. Okay, the simple architecture of Kubernetes. If you are want to recall it, just I check whether this slide is available uh, with me or not. If this slide is available, okay. So here, so here I just revised the previous things. All I think it is not available. So just you will go with the video which is available on internet. After that, you will understand what is the Kubernetes. Actually, Kubernetes is nothing but an extension of, like, in the simple words, we can say a Docker, because in Docker we just deploy our websites inside the container within our physical server, or we can say our system. Okay, so if you are go with like the Kubernetes second, and in that Kubernetes second part, we are going to just go through the simple terms. So in Kubernetes first, just cover the what is the extension. Basically, if there is a heavy load on your server, this Kubernetes cluster, with the help of a Kubernetes cluster, it just take that heavy load and what we can say, it will segregate some of them to the server one, and to the node 1, node 2, and node 3. So in all the nodes there is servicing are running. Okay, and inside the node, what is the thing? That is the pod. Pod is the smallest unit in the Kubernetes, and inside the pod there are many containers. These containers are available in the form of using namespace. What is namespace? If you are with me from my GitHub session, I just explained to you what is namespace. Namespace is basically a property of Linux systems that is used to share their volumes. Okay, so that means the container inside the pod is also available for all of you, for all of the containers, for not for all of you, so for all of the containers available inside the single pod. Okay, so that we are discussing in previous session. We discuss about the architecture, how the node is arranged, and inside the node the property is pod, and inside the pod there are containers following the property of namespace, and where the Kubernetes is used, how the Kubernetes is used. Kubernetes allow multiple runtimes of containers, like three types of runtimes of containers, basically. Not that types of, but is like three way we can, in the simply words, we can say three way we can run a container. First one is Docker. Second one is what? CRIO. Third one is containerd. So these three ways you can there is a server. There is a Node.js, that is an environment to run a JavaScript program without a browser. So there is a simple Docker runtime which allows the container to run Docker, and another is containerd, and another is CRIO, that is provide a Docker runtime. So just we are on this second session. I just revise it all about the terms, key terms in a Kubernetes. What is this is used for? This is used for scaling purposes, and we just want to manipulate the things. We just use this service Kubernetes. Okay, so just we are moving forward. So in Kubernetes cluster, there is a master node and and there are three nodes also. In this diagram there are three nodes. So this diagram I taken from my previous session. So there's a worker node, worker node, worker node. So these worker node are used to deploy the container. and these master node is used to supervise these containers. So if you are if you have wanted to read, that is the simple thing which the main stuff is written here is just nothing but a master node is basically taken apart to run a system node only, and then just it system pods only, and master node is used to supervise these worker node, and it also manages uh, when and which time the workload should be given to the worker nodes also. Okay, so in Kubernetes, the master node supervises the cluster and does not run any application pods except for system pods. So you can understand that master node is basically that is usable to run our system pods, which for Kubernetes cluster in general. Which for Kubernetes cluster in general. Okay, so what system nodes is for Kubernetes cluster in general. Okay, it for managing not managing the containers, it just try to make a management of the cluster that it can't be deviate from that path. It is responsible for transferring workloads to the worker nodes. Okay, so transferring workloads to the worker node. I tell you about it. Use the master node is work to supervise all of the worker nodes. So just it transfer the workloads to the worker nodes and scaling up application as needed. So just till here, I just complete the slide one, and we are moving in the second slide. So second part of our nodes. So what is master node? The master node manages Kubernetes clusters control plane. Actually, master node have a name called control plane, and a worker node have a name called minions. So just remember these things. These are the some technical terms about the Kubernetes. So just the master node manages the Kubernetes cluster, control plane, handling, scheduling, scaling, and the overall state of the system. It basically does not run application workloads, focusing instead and on orchestrating the worker nodes. Okay, so what is orchestrating? I just explained to you, like when there is a smoothness in the work and just something which is not working, then it will is restart that automatically. So the master node manages Kubernetes clusters control plane, handling, scheduling, scaling the overall state of the system. It typically does not run application workloads. Okay, application workloads are not the master node. It is on the worker nodes. So just focusing instead on orchestrating the worker nodes. Okay, so it will use to manage in the short terms. This is a good like a word which I also explained that in previous session what is orchestrating. Okay, so we are so what is worker node? Worker nodes host the application pods and run the containers managed by kubelet. So here a term encounter. What is kubelet? Worker nodes host the application pods and run the containers managed by kubelets. So here kubelet is used to manage the running and the pods and containers. Okay. So in the next slide, we cover what is kubelet for. So there is just a text worker node host the application pods and run the containers managed by kubelet. These all of things I explained to you previously also. So which communicates with the master nodes to report status and resource uses. They handle the actual workload of the application. Okay. So this is basic thing, our basic thing, like how the master node communicate with the worker node, which communicates with the master node to report and like not the kubelet directly, but there is another term also. So just I move just here this Q proxy and API server. So these are the things also. Just you read it, and after that I will explain. Work nodes hosts the application pods and run the containers managed by kubelet. So Kubelet is managing the containers also. So which or it communicates by which communicates with the master node to report a status. These all of the things I covered it also. So just we are moving. So till here, if you have any doubt, Vedant, if you have any doubt, then ask.
It's all right, Rutansh.
Okay, so so just I covered the what is master node, what is worker node, worker node, worker node. You are like some of you are afraid of like not understand this word like worker nodes host the application pods and run the container. These are all things you know, but here from this point managed by kubelet, you firstly encounter the kubelet term. What is kubelet? Which communicates with the master node to report status and resource uses. So this line I might thinking about you like you can't understand. So just I move next. Actually, this is the term we use it for in like a next slide also. So just at there I will explain about this. So basic architecture. This picture is clearly defined how the nodes are arranged. Okay. So here a Kubernetes cluster where my cursor is moving. So here is a Kubernetes cluster, and inside that a master node, a worker node, a worker node, a worker node here also. So that is the thing. And these all of the things arranged in a YAML file because YAML is used to configuration file. It just in a single YAML file, all the nodes are the architectured is used to configuration. And I tell you about XML used to communication, and HTML is the basic file that is on the desktop that will basic structure give a web browser. So that's master node, worker node. And inside the worker node, there is two things: kubelet, kubeproxy, container runtime. So firstly, each node in Kubernetes cluster. So just don't read this. Just I explain you. Container runtime. What is container runtime? I explained previously also. Container runtime is basic, but nothing but an environment to run a container inside the worker node. It in this environment must may be the Docker, the CRIO, or the containerd. So these three things. And there is another worker node, the kubelet, kubeproxy, and container runtime. These things also same consistent. So these things we can say in a layman way, these three things are common to all of the nodes present inside the cluster. So each node in a Kubernetes cluster includes several essential services such as kubelet, kubeproxy, and container runtime. So firstly, we are on the container runtime. This component is responsible for running containers on the node. Okay. This I tell you about CRIO and all of the stuff. Just simple text is written here. This what is kubelet? The simple terms you encounter here. This service communicates with the API server on the master node, ensuring that the containers and pods are running as expected. सो ये क्या करता है, इंश्योर करता है कि कंटेनर्स और पॉड्स एकदम सही से रन कर रहे हैं, और ये हमको क्या करता है, उसका डेटा क्या करता है, ये देख लिखा, विच कम्युनिकेट्स विद द मास्टर नोड टू रिपोर्ट स्टेटस एंड रिसोर्स यूजेस. So kubelet is nothing but give a response to the master node about the status of the container and pods at their resource uses. Okay, it is working or not working, and inside the master node it give to the API server. Yes.
Rudnash, can you please explain again this kubelet? Actually, I'm understanding what you are saying, but what are these pods? I'm not understanding this container and pods. Basically, what are pods?
So Vedant, I think you are like not listen in previous session also. So just I explain the thing, or maybe the case that you are forgotten about pods.
Actually,
So
how it
pods,
communicates with the API server? I just want to know that.
okay. So pods is nothing but a container. Inside pods is nothing but contains a group of containers. Okay. Inside that pods, many containers are running. So this is my laptop. Okay. Inside that, if I made a architecture, so there are Docker inside that Docker, many containers are running. So all of the containers collectively in a Kubernetes cluster work as a pod. Okay. If I want to that this pod is this nothing but a like in a simple terms, we can say a box. Inside that, many containers are running. The simple mean is this. And inside that nodes, some of them are master nodes, some of them, sorry, inside that pods, many containers, these containers share their resources with the property of namespace. Like these containers are like, some containers are big in size, some containers are small in size. So they acquired space according to that. Are you understanding, Vedant?
Yes, Rudransh.
Okay, so whatever you
Basically,
have
they are
doubt.
storing the.
Yes, yes. Are you want to say something?
Actually, I was saying that basically they are storing the clusters. Actually, their role is so that
Okay.
that helps us to connect with the API server.
Okay, API server is something different. I just tell you. So if you remember, I think, wait a second. Wait. I just start with my presentation one also, so that you can understand. Wait a second. Wait. So Vedant, you see it here. Mm, Here, this is the slide you required. What is pod? In the Kubernetes, pod is the smallest unit. Here, basically, in pod may or one or more than one container is present. So here you can see what is the anatomy of pod. Pod is the smallest unit in Kubernetes world. Pod, inside the pod containers, many containers are present. They share their volumes, they share IP addresses. And in a simple terms, you can say same pod, same server, and same container is useful for all of you. Yes. Okay. If you want to see the architecture, how the thing is going on, so just here, this is the Kubernetes cluster. Inside that, many nodes are present, and every node required to communicate. Like, this is the master node, and this required to communicate with this node. So there is a API server required in this node, and that server is present. Like, in if this node is not a master node, then a kubelet is present here and here, and inside the master node a API server is present to communicate. And inside the master node an API server is present. If make Give me a second, it's just I write it here. uh, okay, just wait a second, Vedant. I just want to explain you something. Okay, if this, we can say a master node. Okay, this is a master node. And here, wait. This is a like worker node. Oh, that's the rubbish thing. Okay, so we can say like here, worker node. Okay, so this is the worker. Oh shit. Yeah, wait a second. Just I use the pen. So this is our what? This is our master node. I think change colors must be changed to white. So this is our master node. Okay, we can write it this. And this is a worker node. Okay, so if we want to, like, inside that master node, a API server is there. Server. API server is there. And inside the worker node, there is a kubelet. Okay, so this kubelet give the response to the API server that these containers which are present inside that node must be in the running form, or how much resource that can be laid. taken. And this node, that is the master node, this is a master node containing API server, and the kubelet is communicating this. It also contains some kubelets. And this is not running containers inside.
So Rudran, for example, if we are not using these kubelets, we are running our API server like that. So will there be any variation?
Where?
For example, we are not using your kubelets and we are running it like that, the API server.
There is a Vedant, kubelet and proxy. There two things are basics, because these two things we are available to communicate with not only a single node, with multiple node also. Suppose if you are using an API server, yes, we can say that it is an API server, but in the technical terms, they are using a Kubernetes cluster. Na? That's why we can call it as kubelets.
Okay, okay, Rudran. Thank you.
If this is the content, like till my knowledge, I explain to you, like there is a what we can say kubelet is present that communicates with the API server. Just a simple diagram I have, just I go through that diagram, you have understand with the diagram also. So we just on this. So here basically a kubelet and proxy is there. Vedant, just I complete my session, then you can ask whatever you are wanted. Okay.
Okay, Rudran. Okay, Rudran. You carry on. You carry.
And if you have a doubt, something like if there is a kubelet thing you want to ask, then restrict me on that time also. मुझे उसी समय बता देना,
Okay,
मैं बता
Rudran.
दूंगा, नहीं तो फिर मुझे सेशन.
Okay, Rudran.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
So
Rudran. You
just
can carry on.
okay, okay. So what is container runtime? I think you know. So what is kubelet and Vedant, basically an API server is not like here kubelet giving response about the status and the resource uses. So API is used to communication. Kubelet at take that form to response. Okay, so this server communicates with the API server on master node, ensuring that the containers and pods are running as expected. So just here, the API server. What is the API server? Here, I think Vedant, you get your answer.
Yes, Rudran.
API
Understood.
server serves as the main point of communication between different components of the Kubernetes cluster. So here is an API server that is located inside the master node. And here it's shown is the diagram. It communicates with the kubelet of multiple. Okay, here, and all of this. This diagram is used like master node uses API server to communicate various worker nodes. Just we are moving forward. So what is proxy? The component facilitates communication between different nodes on cluster and manage network routing for services, ensuring that traffic is correctly directed to appropriate pods. Several components exist in the master nodes, including this. So these are the alag thing, ये अलग चीज है. So proxy, this component facilitates communication between different nodes in the cluster and manages network routing for services, ensuring that traffic is correctly directed to the appropriate pods. So in this diagram, a API server like proxy is used, like this API server used to communicate this worker node, and another worker node. So if this, just I use a pen. Yes. I think a big pen is thick. Okay. So if I use like just I make a blank slide so that you can understand. Okay, so here. Okay. So if there is a master node, that is the master node. Okay. This is the master node, and this want to communicate with the node 1, node 2, node 3, and node 4. It just communicate node 1, node 2, node 3, and node 4. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. This 1, 2, 3, and 4. These all are what? Worker nodes. Okay, these all are a marker. There is a master node. This communicates 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if this this is the API server used to communicate with the help of kubelet to one this to second to third to fourth. If I want that this communication, like I just erase it, and I want Vedant, the communication is possible. Just I use this smart pen. So I want a communication between this to this, and I have a communication is this to this, and I want a communication to this to this to this, and I want communication to this also. Okay, so interaction from 1 to 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and 1 to master, it is done by queue proxy. I think you understand what is queue proxy is. So just I move it here, just I erase it all of this. So queue proxy, this component facilitates communication between different nodes in the cluster, managing the network routing services, ensuring that uh, between different nodes in a cluster. So this thing is done. Several components existing in a master node. So this time, if you are running if you are go with the operating system chapter, operating system subject in a computer science, so there is a CPU scheduler. The thing is there. So what does scheduler do? Scheduler basically schedules a process that are running on CPU. Okay, so scheduler gives like this time this is going to run on the CPU. This is this time this from main memory. So this is done by the scheduler. So here the term scheduler is different. Scheduler is nothing but a scheduling here also. The basic terms is same, but it used like this component determines which pods are scheduled to run on a specific worker node based on the resource availability and constraint. So sometimes I think like in a node 1, the all containers are running and there is no empty space. So just scheduler schedules the process, like there are many crowd is coming on our server, so just scheduler take a second server inside, and on that server take a pod, and inside that pod running a container for the running application for that user. Okay, so just on the base behavior of node, like heavy traffic, it is just an example. It is not a thing that which scheduler do rightly, but the scheduler is schedule the like the crowd to a particular node that are this that are basically not a constraint worker nodes based on resource availability. That node must be a resource available, and that must be ready to run state. Okay, so queue control, there is another part. Firstly, API server we are done, used to communication. Scheduler we are done, like there is a heavy crowd on your site, or what we can say on your server, on your the Kubernetes cluster. Then there is a scheduler which on your master node, then that master node transfers the crowd to a particular nodes in a Kubernetes cluster available. So what is the second one is the queue controller manager. It is basically a center. What is API server is a center point for communication, and queue controller manager. This controller manager, this component manages the overall state of the Kubernetes cluster, including overseeing the life cycle of pods and ensuring that the desired state is maintained across both the master and worker nodes. Okay, so I think might be it is tough for you because these are not nothing but a queue controller manager is used to manage container also. Okay, so this component, it manages the overall clusters, like some nodes are working inside that how it also ensuring that pods are running and desired state are maintained, like something are running, some are stopped, so it will just automatically restart the process. So it basically manages all of the thing. Master node is managing only worker nodes, but queue control manager also, like inside the master node, to manage all of the clusters. Sorry, what overall the cluster. Okay, so just This is the main component. That's why master node takes a control over worker nodes. So cloud control manager, it is possible to create Kubernetes cluster on physical server. However, many organizations use cloud uh, uses cloud service. It is possible. It is tough to make a Kubernetes cluster on physical server. Yes, it is possible, but there are many services, like there are many nodes. You have to make a physical server. Inside that physical server, you have to make a virtual system, and on that you have to perform the action. So how where so just okay, so here it is possible to create Kubernetes cluster on physical. However, many organization cloud services is required. Okay, to with the help of single server, your hardware are not efficient to make a interaction between thousands of node available inside the cluster, and the communication is possible. So just we use the cloud services to automate this process of creating Kubernetes nodes. When we deploy a cluster in a cloud, it's simply scaling and management. Cloud is basically simple memory. You can use it. So simple service, with the help of the simple service, we can make a cluster on that cloud, and after that the interaction must be smoothness. Additionally, if we want an application accessible globally from a Kubernetes cluster, we require a load balancer. So here a new term is coming, that is the load balancer. The cloud provide, if you are using cloud, the cloud will provide an IP address to the load balancer for that load balancer, which help distribute traffic instances over the cluster. Okay. So here, cloud provider will give you IP address how the communication is with the help of for that load balancer, and the communication is possible. So the second term, the third term is load balancer. A load balancer is a service that distributes incoming network traffic across multiple servers to ensure reliability and optimal resource utilization. Okay. So it basically also schedules, not schedules, it just take that all nodes are accurately performing their efficient way. Okay. So just we are moving forward. So one more I want to discuss is etcd. This is the component exists here, master node also. So API server is done, scheduler is done, kube control manager is done, cloud controller is manager is done. And if you want to crowd control, it sometimes contains or not. If you want to create in a physical server, it may be possible, but it is complex. So just you use it a cloud server where you can make an cluster of Kubernetes, and then you perform the actions. So this is the thing. One more thing I want to discuss. It is used to store configuration data state and metadata state in Kubernetes as key value pairs. So it can it will store the configuration data when the containers start and all of the stuffs. It basically stores the logs, okay, of this Kubernetes. So it resides in the master node and serves as a primary data store for Kubernetes cluster, ensuring that consistency and reliability is maintained. Okay, so availability is maintaining. So this thing is done. Vedant, you have any doubt? I just completed all of the stuffs. What is master node? What is worker node? How the interaction between us is possible? How the master node is working? It is work as a control plane. How kube? What is the inside that master node? There are mainly three things: kubelet, kube proxy, container runtime, kubelet, kube proxy, container runtime in all node. Inside the master node, there are three things: API server, scheduler, kube controller manager, cloud control manager, and one thing is also add is the etcd. So just I cover these all of the things. Basically today I'm not go with the practical stuffs, because these are the basic things, and we just not going on the most basic things, because if we are going on the more basic, that is more difficult. So this is basic architecture. If anyone wants to know what is inside that, what is the basic architecture, what is the simple terms mean, what is the technical terms mean, what is the inside master node, so these things are done we are today. After that, in the second session, okay, so just here is a video for a software requirement of Kubernetes, because Kubernetes is something which are required many softwares like Minikube, Kubelet, not Kubelet, kubectl. So these three things, two things you have to install, and there are some restrictions to install it. So just I just make a video and just upload it on YouTube. After that, you will understand how the things are installed and how just we are make an available use. Like VMware is also you have to install, because I think you understand that Cube controller we don't like, we also take a Cube cloud service to make it as, but that thing is not like it requires some price of money. It requires some price, so we can't do this. We just take a virtual machine inside that we are running, make a cluster and running this thing. Okay, so just till here, if you have any doubt, then ask. So I think you might not have any doubt. Yes, Vedant, you have any doubt?
Raj, it's all right, Raj.
Okay, just I take it that I cover most of the terms. What is master node? What is worker node? What is the kubelet? What is the queue proxy? What is what is the this API server? What is the scheduler? What is the queue control manager? What is the cloud control manager? What is the load balancer? What is the scheduler and what is all of the stuffs? So if you have any doubt, then ask this time, because this is the basic architecture.
Please, Raj, please open your last slide.
What? Sorry.
Can you please open your
Last slide. Okay. Just this.
please explain this first one, ATCD.
Okay, etcd is nothing but used to store your configuration data, state and metadata in Kubernetes as key value pairs. It just store what is the container, what is the thing. Like if you want to open an application, now there is something configuration is something validation is required. So that is the form in the metadata and just store a key value pair. So if you are running any container, inside that container, some key value data is there. If you are running a container, there is a hash value of that container. It is a metadata, is just stored in the etcd. Understand?
Yes, yes, understood.
If you have doubt, just tell me. If I don't know, then I explain in next session also. So just we are moving forward etcd and to
We, we,
sites. Yes.
we can move forward, Raj.
Okay. So kubectl. What is kubectl? Cube is nothing but a property, we can say, and ctl was the command line tool to like run the commands, like make a cluster and all of the stuffs. So it is a command line tool used to manage Kubernetes clusters and resource remotely via the API server of the master node. In short, manage Kubernetes cluster. I just tell you, kubectl is the tool. It is not the component. It just basically like here a command line tool to manage all the Windows resources. If I just delete the import, like delete the operating system with the command line, it will be deleted. So this is also the tool kubectl to manage overall the Kubernetes cluster with the help of commands. Okay. So here, whatever the thing is written, tool is used to manage Kubernetes cluster and resource remotely via API server to the of the master node. So just I write the command, it will go. It is going on the API server. After that, API server communicates with all of the worker nodes. So it allows to perform various operations such as deploying application, scaling workloads, and inspecting cluster resources. ओके सो व्हाट सो इट मतलब ये तो है ना यार, कमांड जिस तरीके से चलाएंगे उस तरीके का वर्क करेगा. कम्युनिकेशन बिटवीन क्यूब सीटीएल एंड द एपीआई सर्वर अकर्स ओवर एचटीटीपीएस इंश्योरिंग सिक्योर ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ डेटा. So what is HTTPS? I think Keshav contain like take what is HTTPS in previous session also. So just I take a small brief about what is HTTPS. It is nothing but a protocol.
Actually, I will also be covering in the sessions.
Okay, so just HTTP is an extension of HTTP. HTTPS is I think not like I am HTTPS is more securing and HTTP is not securing. Am I right, Vedant? So just write HTTP is an extension of HTTP that encrypts data exchange between a user, a web server using SSL and TLS protocols. Actually, after the portion of Kubernetes and Docker and the GitHub, I just start the these TLS and all of the SSL things. But this time I just ensuring secure communication. It also verifies the authenticity of the web server, protecting sensitive information from interception like me. So okay, so just if I want to run a command just with the help of HTTPS protocol, it goes to the like HTTPS is more secure than HTTP. A secure is here, and S is taking most of the part for securing, protecting sensitive information from interception and all of the stuffs. If I just run the command, it will directly goes to the our masternode API server, and that will able to communicate. Okay, so note all containers in the same pod share their namespace. Remember about namespace. What is namespace? I tell you previously also. It is nothing but just a property to share a volume between all of the containers. So some software is required. So here we are concluded our this session, because I just cover theory in this session, and this is the basic architecture. Here, like today, what things I cover, just I write it here. Wait. Just I write it here. So, I think, wait. So just the first thing I will do, what is the master node? Master node we are done. Okay, I think it is not your right thing. Just wait. Eraser. Okay, so just I just move on to the next slide here, and just next. Here I just write whatever the things we are completed today. So today we are completed master node. We are completed the worker node. We are done with API server. It is used to communicate. We are done with kubelet. We are done with kube proxy. We are done with container runtime. We are done with scheduler. We are done with what? We are done with what thing? Yeah, I think etcd, uh, kubler, kube controller manager, cloud controller manager. Okay, I think these are the things we are completed. Anything missed? We are Vedant, or we are simply these things just completed. Hmm? We are yes, cube CTL also. Wait a second, Vedant. So these are the things we are completed today. What is master node? What is worker node? What is the kube proxy? What is the kubelet? Sorry, what is the API server? What is the kubelet? What is the kube proxy? What is the container runtime? What is the scheduler? What is the etcd? What is the kube controller? Just I cover it. Master node is basically used to manage the worker nodes. Worker node is nothing but handling the stuffs which are taken by the which are the giving by master node. API server is nothing but used to communicate, and kubelet is nothing but give the status of worker node to the master node that it is a running form. Kube proxy is nothing but used to like communicate between the nodes. Like API server is used to master node to all of us, but between nodes, like node one want to communicate with node two, node one to want to communicate with node two. This will provide by the API proxy. Container runtime basically give our runtime property to running the container inside that nodes. Scheduler is basically nothing but a master node inside. If there is a heavy crowd, it decides whether it will go to the this, it will go to the this, and it will go to the this. This property of managing is given by the queue controller manager. It also take care of the overall cluster, and cloud control manager it gives that these all of the things is done in the cloud. Okay, it is very easily or simple to done all the things in cloud. If we are going a physical server, actually on the time of explaining I don't have the like access of the cloud server, so just I try to done it in a physical server on my desktop with the help of a VMware. So or like there are many software are required for you to go with the Kubernetes. So I just try to upload a video. I not covering the how to install a VMware. It is a basic thing, yeah. In previous session, I just told you about. If you are with me from continuous from my first session of GitHub, then you are able to done all of this because basic concepts are the same. Here I where if I'm starting in a Docker, I think not in Docker or a Git name. I don't remember. I just started about the Docker. At the starting of Docker, I just explained the difference between Docker and VM virtual machines. So that is thing here important. VMware like virtual machines takes parts in this time Kubernetes. So kubectl is also done. It basically a tool to manage like to write commands. These commands will go with the help of HTTPS protocol to this master node. So I think if you have any doubt, then you ask. Otherwise, I just end my session. So thank you, all of you. Thank you. Guys, if you have any doubt,
It's all over the.
okay. So just Vedant, I just start a new meeting. After that, you will start.
Okay, Adinash. So, so okay. So I was saying you about I was saying about that the so that how was how are we how are we moving our how are we reading our text file that we had created intentionally in our folder. So that is a particular way to read your file while using taking any variable and using fs.read file sync. And UTF-8 is very important when you are reading something because it is used for encoding and decoding purpose, and then you have to print it like that. So basically, this is the way to write your. So this is the basically way to read your file, and when you are using it properly, you will be getting this a kind of a this thing in your terminal. Likewise, I'm using it like a Vedant Shukla and your name. For example, I was printing up my I was printing up my details, and for example, these are you're working in a company and you're using multiple details of a people those you are logging into the server. So this is the way this is the simple way to do it like that. So basically, actually, I have completed up with my first slide. So and this thing was also did in the previous session. So I think there's no need to do these things again and again. So I'm just moving back and actually opening my new slide. So, Rudrangsh, can you please ensure me that my slide is visible to you?
Yes, Node 7, lecture 7 node
Yes, 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 yes.
visible.
So, so okay. So shall I start?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was telling you about that. I wanted to. I have created up my file. There I wanted to log up my details. For example, there's a people those who have logged into the server, and they have what they were for example doing, how much what kind of operations they were performing. So here I was basically printing up my own details that what kind that for example my name and my phone number and my LinkedIn profile, and you can see there's a message, there's one message written over there that visit to my profile. So basically that was possible while using this UTF-8, and for example we were using this architecture of synchronous architecture to read my file. So remember that this is a synchronous architecture when you are to read a simple file. Now I'm doing the same thing with the asynchronous operations. But you can see while I'm doing the same thing with my asynchronous operations, it was showing it like that, my certain directory, and it was showing up like that, that error invalid argument type. That means it is asking me that I haven't give I'm not using my you can say basically in a layman language you can understand it like that. I'm not using my syntax properly. But I think you people can get up an idea why it has been showing an error, like it was error invalid argument type of an error. Actually, many times it is not showing like this error, the error invalid argument type. There's some another kind of an error. This kind of error means that I'm not using something. There's something wrong in my code. Not using my syntax correctly, not proper functioning of this proper functioning. Basically it gives a error that is known as a callback error. Although this I have to rectify that why it is not giving me a callback error, because actually so there's an error there people get a callback error. So basically when you are using a read file like this, you're using callback error. So it's not a problem for reading a file, it's not a problem for writing a file, it's not a problem of watching a file. Even it's not a problem of appending a file. Whatever operations you're performing over there, you have to perform it very smoothly while remembering the architecture. So basically, what kind of architecture you're following? Actually, the whole concept, whole this topic while handling, it has been based upon an architecture. How you use an architecture over there. For example, uh, there's a node architecture. So there's a node architecture I was telling you about in file operations, that is synchronous and asynchronous. I have used asynchronous. I was using asynchronous. That is, I was using non-synchronous type of operations. I was not using. I was in here. I was using actually was not here. I was using synchronous, but I removed the keyword sync, and I was using over here non-synchronous. That means I was using a asynchronous operation. So, for example, when you are using my asynchronous operations, I have to give a proper syntax, and that proper syntax is known as your callback syntax, your callback function. I have to provide a simple callback function to run my file with the help of non-synchronous operations or asynchronous operations. But here you can see that is the reason I was using was getting an error as error invalid argument type. I will be rectifying this error. Basically, you people might be getting an error as in callback error. So remember this thing. So that is the reason it was throwing me this kind of an error. And while you when you are resolving this error, okay, one thing more. So just understand this kind of an architecture. And while you are resolving this you can say error, remember one thing: how you have to resolve it. This that means you have to simply give a callback function to resolve this error. That because it is a kind of a callback error, so you have to use a callback function. Because remember one thing that when you are using synchronous operations, it has been you have to use it like that. But when you are using asynchronous operations, that means these kind of an operations, you have to give a callback function over there, and you will be getting the whole result as well. There's no problem over there. Okay, so just basically what you have to do first, you have to read a file. Because you have to read a file, all them using a read file operation, you can we can do it any kind of an operation. You can write, we can even write a file also. So for example, I have to give my name of my file. For example, my name of a file is vedant.txt. While using my dot slash, that is my indicating my current directory. UTF-8 is not again, it's very important, as you were asking, that we have to provide it for
Also
encoding and
very
decoding.
important for
So if
Python, and it is basically a like a standard way to writing your code also in Python. And here also it's
it
practical the file.
exactly, absolutely, Yuvraj, you are correct. Exactly, here also it is doing the same kind of it is representing the same thing. So UTF-8 is important. And again, we are writing in brackets. I'm using that added comma VED. So basically, I'm indicating that if I would be getting an error, that this callback function will ensure me that I'm getting an error, and I have to resolve this. For example, I'm not using anything properly, and if it is either it will be showing up my file directly, that the name, the whatever text I have written on my file, or else it will be giving me up an error. So it is like that. So error comma VAD. So then I've used some conditions over there. And then see, for using the callback function, this is a part of a JavaScript basically. So if you not remember, I'm just revising it again. So you have to use this flatten arrow operations. That is, flatten arrow operations means you have to give you have to indicate callback function with the help of an arrow. So please, in brackets also inside your file, write array comma whatever variable you want to give it. You represent an array because I want to show you that there should be no error. And then I was using this arrow operations that and inside those braces, whatever error is there, it would get resolved. Uh, Otherwise print my file normally. That means that whatever text I want to read, I can read it with normally. Okay, so if error, that means if there is an error, then I want to print the statement as error in Vedant. That means my name of file is Vedant. So error is there in my file name Vedant, and I have to print error because I was using error over there in parameters. So remember, the parameters are very important. Whatever the parameters you're using, you have to print those parameters only. For example, I was using up my parameters as error. So I indicated error over here inside if. Then I was using error in console.log, then else statement. Otherwise, that means otherwise this print my this the print my code as usual. That means I can read my file with no error, no syntactual error and no conceptual error. So you can see I'm here it has been I'm a node developer, and you people can follow up me on LinkedIn. So that was my so that was up my so that so that was the my text written on my file. Okay. Then also I was using with my new file. For example, if I was using my follow file, actually, and here I was using Vedant.txt because I had created two files. Vedant.txt I used when I was when I was creating a file. And when I was writing a file, so it was created inside that only. Here and follow.txt was created intentionally. I created to read up a file. So here I use within follow file, and the same callback operations I use, and it is working there also. That means I had no error. I have no errors. So it is showing up my name, my phone number, my LinkedIn profile, and showing up a simple message that you can visit to my LinkedIn profile. Okay, so this is the basic operations that my server wants to. For example, in future, this is simple. You can say text I'm showing you. But in future, when we are creating a server, and in server we want to fetch up a data, each and every details of a user. For example, when what at what time he or she has been logged in at the server, what kind of IP address he or she has been registered on the server. Because we also, when we follow a simple website, we just usually move to the website again and again, and there's a simple, you can say history has been reloaded. So to reload those, you can say history, to just understand that history, we use this simple file operations. Okay. So I think, Rudash, it has been clear to you. If there is any errors, you can ask me. Any you can say problem. So basically, one more thing that I want to tell you people, that it's not necessary you will write if and else statement over there. These if and you can although you have to provide these parameters of error and my particular variable, and also you have to, because this is a simple you can say syntax of a callback function, but these if and else statements are not important. I can just simply print it like that, console.log Vedant, and no, neither if nor else. It had been showed, it had been printed out properly, without an error. But I just wanted to use like that if there is an error, because in understanding in file handling also in that there is a concept of try and catch. That why we use try and catch for holding an error, for handling an error, handling of an error of a try and handling an error of a catch. So why we use try and catch? We use in try we have to give a statement, then catch we just simply caught up an error. So that was a simple concept of try and catch. So without using the call try and catch also, you can just simply use a callback function to return an error or an argument, and and you can but you have to use it where you have to use it in your non-synchronous kind of an operation, that is just a synchronous operation, not only synchronous operation. Okay, so you can see that this was my file, that was vedant.txt. I'm a node developer, and you can follow up me on LinkedIn. That was a message showing up on the file. That's the thing that you have to if you people had you can say noticed about, or if you have not, even not noticed about, there is one uh, thing, one that is more thing that is showing up me as 8. So what is this 8? Let me actually I just want to just say okay, one thing more. I was getting additional, you can say, digit over there, that is 8. What is 8? 8 is eight is an additional digit that I was getting upon my file. I was getting upon my file. Why I was getting that additional result? I was getting an additional result because I was using my so okay, my file in my at my terminal again and again. But again the question arises, why am I getting it? Okay, why I am getting this error? Again the question arises. So I have a proper valid reason for that thing, but you have to wait. You have to just keep some patience. I have to. I should understand one more thing properly. If you people can see up over here, look up over here. That is, it has been written as fs.append file sync. Append file sync is another operations to append your file. For example, why append file sync? I'm using append file sync. For example, I'm using fsl read file. Okay, that or fsl write file. It will be showing up. It will be using my Vedant.txt again and again. If if you remembered, if you remembered one thing, that when I was using my last name is Shukla. Yes, Vedant.
Network connection अच्छे रख. You can proceed. Yes, both the things are good. Proceed with a new good internet connection. Continue.
Okay, Vedant, I'm continuing. Okay, so I was saying.
Continue, Vedant, from where you are ended your previous session.
Okay. So okay, one minute.
Okay.
One minute. Finding my slides. So actually, actually, because we have been running with a shortage of time. So I just wanted to conclude one more thing, this part earlier. Then I will be again continuing my previous parts. That was the concepts of file handling. So that is the most. This is one of the most important interview question that was frequently asked in interviews. That how this what will be the result of this whole, you can say, output. So if anyone is interested to tell the result, he or she can. I'm waiting for a few seconds, then I will be answering this the whole question. Okay. So I'm telling up the answers. Okay, so let me tell up the answer. That x is equals to b, that is a string in a string format. Y is equals to a, again in the string format. I want to print up the result. I want to just print up my result. That is x plus y double plus y plus y. So when I will be printing up my result, okay. So when I will be printing up my result, so what will be the condition or what will be the output that I will be using over there, that I will be seeing up in my printing screen? Actually, y x is equals to b. That simply means y b is the string over here. Y is equals to a, again it is a string over here. So when x is equals to b and y is equals to a, that means when we are expanding this whole can say output, that is x plus y. So that will the result that we will be getting it as BA. After getting this as BA, because this is a certain concept of string concatenation. When we concatenate two strings, for example, first string is B and second string is A. So when we are expanding this expression as x plus y, we will be getting the string concatenation. It will be giving me the result of the string concatenation. So it will concatenate two strings, that is B and A as BA. Again, it is showing me two post operators, that is plus plus y. So just leave BA at one part, at one position, then understand about plus plus y. What is plus plus y? So plus plus y, basically it means that double plus y, it indicates that we first it will be using the concept of string, appending a string again. No problem. Next next point, it will be showing the concept of unary operator, that is plus unary operator. That means it is showing the string concept, appending the string, then it will be showing the concept of unary operator. That means it will try to that is y is equals to a. So y is in the format of a string. So why it will be it will try to convert a into a number, but but it is not possible to convert a into a number. You know it very well. So for example, there is 2. It is possible to convert, and if it is a string format, so it is possible to convert a string format to a number. It is possible, but it's not possible to convert a into a number. So the result will be that will be displayed to us as nan. Nan is not a number. So there is one more concept property that has been disclosed, or that is the NaN. So BA, NaN. So two things have been almost over. But again, it is using one more operator, that is plus y. See, what is the use of plus y? Plus y it will do with the string concatenation. It will be, sorry, not string concatenation. It will be appending the string. For example, if one A has been left, so again, like in terms of y, so one A has been left. So it will append this A to one to as x plus y did. So it will append to A to the whole answer. That is x plus y BA double plus y NaN. That is not a number, and plus y again. Literally, it will be showing that as A. So BA NaN A. That will be the answer of the whole output. So if you people have any arguments or any doubt, you can please ask me again and again. So if you people have any doubt, anyone? I think you people have been cleared up with the concept. And if you have any doubts, although we are doing here in a live session, but if you are not possible, if you're not able to ask your doubts right now, you can even comment up in our YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel that is known as Source Content. It's named as Source Content. You can comment it down, and our team will immediately contact you. They will they will immediately contact you and resolve your queries. If it is related to my domain or anyone else's domain. Okay. So basically this call, apply and bind methods I will be explaining in this session, because these are some actually these are uh, some deep concepts that have been explained. Actually, let me explain it to you in a shorter way. Call is used for actually some arguments have been passed, and some it is used for invoking a function. Apply, it is same as call. The thing is, the argument should be passed in terms of an array, and bind is used for binding binding two operations. So these are the methods of call, apply, and bind. This is the functioning of call, apply, and bind. Wait, that is not part of today's session. 1 minute. So now I am continuing up with my the session that I had left with. That is lecture 7. So I have covered till here. I think that is also covered. It's also covered. It also have been covered. It also have been covered, I think. Okay, till here it had been covered. So I'm again asking if repeatedly, if I'm saying that if you have any doubt, you can ask me again in the last sessions. Or in the last slides. So it is yes. So now I want to append something. For example, when I was using my dot read file or dot write file, for example, I was using my dot write file. So fs dot write file was simply showing me it as the fs dot write file was simply showing it me as that I can write up something on my text file. Okay, I can write anything, ABC, yeah, whatever text I want to write. But again, certainly when I'm changing my text, or I want to write something else, you can see it gets manipulated. For example, I used you can say Vedant. You can say I'm on my last name is Shukla. But certainly when I was writing, I'm a Node developer, and you can search up me on LinkedIn. As you can see, this is that what the test written, and you can follow up me on LinkedIn. So as soon as I wrote this statement, I wrote this text, that particular, you can say, that particular file, that particular the previous text that previous text got manipulated. Actually, it got erased, and one more this particular statement had got printed. That I'm not developer, and you people can follow up me on LinkedIn. So why this happened? So this happened due to the again overwriting concept. It's overriding there in modules. It's overwriting here in files. So overwriting is not you can say it's not so it's a problem. Overwriting is it's not a problem basically, but it's neither it's a concept. So it's not a problem, but but it's a simple, you can say, technique. That obviously if you want to write something, you are writing, but again you have to write something else. Why you're using the write operation, you people know it very well. you write operation create a file on its own while you indicate the directory and all those things. So it can get created automatically, whichever file you want to create. So that is the use of a write operations. But when you're using the but when you want to list more, or can say when you want to list more, you will say text areas. You want to write some more statements over there. You have to use append operation. That is 1 minute. Yes, that is fs.append file sync. So that is fs.append file sync, and you have to so append. But how you have to use it? For example, I'm using it like that. I'm using my name of my file where I want to append my text area. Then I'm using it like that. First of all, I'm using it like that. Understand it. Please understand. Try to understand it. That new date uh, and dot get date dot to local string. So what does it mean? It means that a local string that is in it's a kind of an array of local strings. There are some array of local strings, or you can say a kind of an object has been created. That means that it contains one or more language of local tags. For example, there's some local tags over there. It's a inbuilt in your JavaScript. So, for example, if I include one or more than one local string, we list them in the descending order of priority, so that the first entry is the preferred local. Okay, so for example, when we are, it's a kind of a stack. For example, we use when we are using last out concept. For example, we are using decreasing. You are using decreasing format. So the priority is like that's the first entry is in the preferred local. For example, we are using in a decreasing format. So and this is a particular concept using JavaScript that converts a number to a string. Okay. So that is the reason we use it. So and what is the correct way to apply this? That you have to write new date, and you have to use date as a function. Dot get date. You want to get any date. Dot to local string. Okay. Dot to local string. So you have to apply this concept of dot to local string, and local string can be used as a function over there. Okay. Dot to local string. And when you're using this, you are getting this. You can say you are using this because I'm using. Yes, I was using my without.txt file over there. Actually, here I was using without.txt file, and in the list and this slide you can see it has been getting additionally getting you can say 8 has been appending over there, because I was not using any particular text. I was just using this date local string format. New date as a function, dot date as a function, dot get date another function, dot to local string again a function. Three kind of functions are there, and you have to use a new keyword over there. So this is the particular format language you have to use it. So while you are using it, why you are getting it like that 8 over there, appending 8 over there. This is why you are getting this. Let me clear it to you, because it is a what is this 8? First of all, what kind of digit is 8? This 8 is this digit of 8 is it is your date. Simply, it is your date. Okay. So when you are using it as your date. For example, I was using when I was coding up the whole code base. I was using around mostly in 8 October 2024. So I was so that is the reason it has been additionally got printed as 8. I'm a node developer. You people can follow me on LinkedIn, and it's getting .8. And simply you can say I'm using my without.txt file also. So in without.txt file it was getting my as 8. And if I using it me as follow and in follow also and I just to just check up the result that yes, why it is either it is a bug, that is my getting the without.txt, or it is showing up in all the files, but it was showing up in all the files. For example, in follow up file also it was showing up in the same result. That is 8. So what does that mean? So what does that mean? It means that I was using as soon as I was. Hello. Okay. So I was saying that. So I was saying that the number of times I will increase my I'm increasing my terminal. At my terminal, number of times I want to I'm using my you can say I'm printing up my this whole, you can say, whole part in my terminal, whole JS file at my terminal. The number of times it will increase my result. It has 8, 8, 8, 8. Again, you can see the number of times I'm increasing my terminal, it is getting me 8. First of all, look up at like that. First, it was 1 8 in the terminal. When I was executing my whole operations. First, it was 8. Then again, it was 8. 2 8s were there. Okay, it got increased. 1 8s were getting to 2 8s because I used my terminal 2 times. For example, node link, my name of my file. Again, it got increased to 1 more 8. That is, see, 3 8s are there. And okay, 3 8s are there. And because I was using this whole things at my follow up file, so that is the reason. So that is the reason it was showing up me on. So I was using a follow file. So that is the reason I was getting the whole thing, the whole result at my follow file. Okay. So that is at Vedant Shukla. So Vedant Shukla, and see, then this follows the name of my file. Everyone knows. Vedant Shukla is the text name. It's a text name. I'm using my name. For example, I'm using my text name over there. I'm using any text. Although I'm using my own name, you can write any text over there. For example, I'm using this is a file handling, any text, particular text. You can pass that text. The thing is, what kind of output you would be getting. The output that you people would be getting it as 8 triple times 8. See, because you were using new date, a function of new date dot to get dot get date dot to local string. That was the, you can say, that was the functions that were operating on your under append file. That is the reason you were getting it like that. Now you are not using it like so, because I have run my terminal 3 times. So it showed me I showed my 8 was getting showed up my 3 times because I was getting dates. So that is the reason it was showing me a current date, what my current date is. And since I was using my particular text, for example, I used my text as Vedant Shukla, so it showed me it as Vedant Shukla. That is so interesting. As sooner as I manipulated it as to it as text, but it showed me as Vedant Shukla. So basically, what we people do, we just at append file sync, as we were using synchronous file operations, I just used \n. Just used \n. So what is the use of a \n? \n, everyone knows, it just gives up the space to the another file, another line. Okay, so it just gives up the space to the another line. So as you can see over there, I was using the \n, and I will be getting the space at my file. Something is wrong with that. Basically, I'm using this \n, that it could get it should look it should get the proper architecture, and the whole space should get actually get separated from the file. So you can see the result as Vedant Shukla, like that. Okay, that is so cool. So I just use backslash n. Number of times I use backslash n. So first I use backslash n. So the number of times I write in my file, then only it will be segregate my lines. So for example, if you want to use, for example, I use backslash n. So it separated the values of Vedant. You can see over here that space it gives the space, and Shukla was getting printed over there. Okay. Then again Vedant, Shukla Vedant was appended, and and then it again get the space, and Shukla was there. Okay, no problem over there. And again backslash n and Vedant Shukla. Okay. So number of times I will increase my backslash n, backslash n, backslash n. So it's not number of times I'm using backslash n. You have to use my backslash n at one time only. Number of times I will run my terminal, time number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So then, so that is the way. So till here, I just use the more number of times my terminal. You can say Vedant Shukla has been shifted till here. You can do it on your own also. That will be interesting part to do. So I just, with the help of running the file number of times, I just printed my Vedant Shukla likewise here, like here. Okay. I just move it towards the fifth line. I used to use, so Vedant Shukla was shifted towards fifth line. So, what is fs.read file? Fs.read file is mainly I have just introduced fs.read file. Fs.read file was just used to read a file. Okay, no problem. Now again I used UTF-8, that is again, and this is the whole thing. So it shows the error splitting warning, and the error was then if I'm doing something wrong, I will be getting the result as you can see over here. So basically till here, if you people have any doubt, you can ask. Actually till here you people can understand it like that, 90%, okay, 70% of your file handling has been completed over here. Now you will not left with any kind of file handling concept anymore. Okay, I have covered each and every topic, each and everything that you people can face up with the file handling. So these slides. So I have just covered I've just covered up the part of mainly of file handling at most of the thing. Now one thing more that so yes, one thing more that most of the people I found is that this particular thing. that most of the people get this kind of problem, that the module not found or the stack not found. That means they have to use they are not able properly able to use the required stack. Why this problem people faces, why people faces these kind of problems? People used to face these kind of problems because actually this the reason is like that they're not using they're not using the files in their correct in their proper directory. So to use the things in the proper directory is very important. So until and unless you're not using the things in your proper directory, you will be getting an error. So please understand this thing very well and use the things on in the and use the things in the proper directory. So so the people so you people should not get this error as model not found. You can go do one thing. On your file, you just move towards file and you can just there one thing or can see over or here, sorry, view, and that view part and in view part you can see there's one option known as view current file. So this open current file, this is one for option. So when you're opening current file, it just opens the particular module that you want to open. Or then also if it's not working or if the directory is not working, you just do one thing.
Grant, you have to cover in 5 minutes.
Okay, so Rudnash, I have almost covered up with my session. Actually, this is the part of the next session. So
Okay.
if you want, I can start up today, or I can start up in the session. Take
In
it
next
the next
session.
session.
In
Although
next
I've covered. Okay, so I have covered up with my most of the slides. File handling. The things that have been left in the file handling concept I will be covering you with my next session. That is will be occurring on next Saturday or something like that. We'll be getting a notification about that. So thank you so much for giving for attending my session. So I have just covered up with my the whole concept of file handling, and then this left file handling concept can be covered in the next sessions.
And for
That session.
you conclude your session. So for all of you, for all of our audience, a happy Deepavali in advance, because like due to our CT exams, we can't take the session on 26th, like next Saturday, and we try to take that session on Sunday. So I think I not might be able at that time. That will concern like that thing we will tell in the next session. So
you will be getting the notification in the group also, WhatsApp group also, and in the YouTube channel also.
like maybe I think I am not present. That's why I am call off my audience like Happy Diwali. I am not able, but if I am present on that session, I will try to present on that session and host the meeting also. So thank you.